Okay, just to go over some of the concepts of what it is that we are actually looking for from the assignment as far as grading purposes go. When we're looking at the elimination fingerprints, as I've mentioned, ideally you want the impression to look square without any kind of scallop edgings. As you can see in some of them, the corner is cut off on some of these, not straight across, not square. Sometimes they're touching the lines or below the lines. You want a few friction ridge rows that appear within the box that are below the flexion crease. Now, depending on the size of the digits that you are ruling, obviously if you're ruling a larger person, they may actually fill the entire box and it may spill over regardless of how you approach it. So don't be too hung up on that. A couple of other things to be considerate of is that in situations you'll want to be putting your own fingerprints on the impression as well. A tendency, especially if you're using your index and thumb as a guide ruling the impression, sometimes it's easy to touch the impression and cut it out. Here you can see it on the tip of this one here. There's an artifact there from me when I was rolling it that's not part of it. And there's another section here where it's a double tap where Agatha's finger actually touched the surface a second time in the incorrect position. Other areas of interest here, you can see you want to have nice even amount of ink throughout the impression without having real dark spots or void areas. Any area such as this, where it is excessively dark, it's obscuring friction ridge detail, and so that's obviously an issue as well. So even impression, nice and square, squared edges without scalloping, nice even ink without having void spots or without having dark spots, avoiding double taps, and I guess that's it. Now, continuing on looking at the bottom portion here, as you can see, it starts off with the signature of the person being fingerprinted, their particular, so the surname and given name of the person, other names, aliases, or names that they may go by, address, and any Bertillon artifacts such as scars and tattoos, deformities should also be mentioned in the bottom box. On this side here, it's who's taking the fingerprints, the date the prints were taken, the complexion, occupation, sex, hair, eyes, the date of birth, the height, weight, and the race of the person. So in keeping with some of those boxes, I realize that it is a sensitive issue, especially with certain people will tend to be more offended by terminologies that are being used. So what I've done is I've sourced out the terminology that is currently being used to describe peoples of different ethnicity, and I've sourced it out through the Toronto Police Service, and these are the current ones that are being used. Please don't shoot the messenger. All I'm doing is relaying this information to you, and hopefully people will not be offended by it. So in the box that describes the race, the selections are white, black, brown, oriental, or aboriginal. I realize that people may be sensitive to these and they may not necessarily be reflective of the communities. Certainly don't want to insult people, and we want to be considerate of people's different different beliefs and different traits, but that this is what is being described by the police as what they are using currently. As far as complexion goes, there are three selections for that: dark, medium, and fair. So some of the boxes that are here, for instance, the address, you can make an address up. We don't need to have that specificity when it comes to people's personal information. So you can make things up. You can even fabricate a date of birth if that's you're choosing as well. But just use any type of address as well. It doesn't have to be an actual one. On the reverse side, please make sure that you do complete the palm impressions and the thumb and the tip of the thumb as well as completion of the front side.